Foodbeast. This week we were challenged to make our best recipe using chocolate, and here's what we made. My great-grandmother was from Spain and always used to make churros y chocolate, so I decided to make Empanada Churros stuffed with chocolate.
Put 1 cup of water into a saucepan on medium heat and add a 1/4 cup of sugar, a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of butter, and right when it comes to a boil, add 1 cup of sifted flour all at once. Immediately turn off the heat and stir it until it forms into a dough. Then add it to a bowl and press it down a bit to let it cool for about 10 minutes, and then add 1 egg and fold it into the dough until it is all nice and smooth again. Then you're going to get about 1.5 tablespoons of the dough, roll it into balls and flatten them out. And then you're going to add 1 square of frozen chocolate to the upper half, fold the dough and lightly press down on the edges, and then just use a fork to seal it in. Then lower them into oil on medium heat, fry until golden brown and let them cool on a paper towel. Then you're going to coat them in some cinnamon sugar and enjoy.
Move over Hershey's. Today we're making mole. Traditionally, mole is made from chilies and chocolate, and since I like savory foods a lot more than I like sweets, we're not just making mole, we're making mole chicken pizza. So instead of mozzarella, we're gonna use Oaxacan cheese, which is very similar, and then top it with jalapenos, onions, tomatoes, and cotija cheese, which is kind of like Parmesan. Then you're gonna preheat your oven to a broil, and you're gonna broil this bad boy till everything gets toasty and melty and delicious. And I really like my pizzas to have cold toppings, so I'm gonna put some avocado, cilantro, crema con sal, and a little more cotija cheese because why not? And guess what? I forgot to get a hero shot. I feel so bad, but I promise that the cheese was all melty when I pulled it apart, and it was bomb. Holy moly, chocolate on pizza. Throw a little lime on it, eat a radish. It's f***ing delicious. You're gonna love it when you try it.
This right here is a chocolate-covered jalapeno that is stuffed with peanut butter. I know what you're all thinking. Just why? I actually saw the recipe online and my mind could not stop thinking about it, so I decided to make them. The first step was to remove all of the stems and the seeds inside. This is basically just to make it less spicy, but it also allows you to fill it up with some peanut butter. I'm using this brand because it's more oily and it's easier to fill with the Ziploc bag. I let them settle in the fridge and then I started melting my chocolate. I'm just using regular chocolate chips. Then I carefully coated my jalapenos with chocolate all the way around, and I set them on top of a tray with parchment paper. Then I thought it would be a good idea to incorporate mazapan, which by the way matches my shirt, since it is a peanut and sugar candy. I crumbled those up and then I used a spoon to add it on top of the chocolate to add some nice texture. Then after they chilled in the fridge, it was time for the moment of truth. Low-key, I was pretty scared because I thought it was going to be spicy. It has a little bit of a kick, but I think it works pretty well with the peanut and chocolate flavors, so I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10. Nice, spicy, crunchy.
Time to make some Neapolitan cheesecake brownies. We got the white chocolate, we got the dark chocolate, and we got the ruby chocolate. Let's start with the brownie base. We're gonna melt some dark chocolate, some butter, and some sugar over a pan of simmering water. Mix in 1 egg at a time, making sure they don't scramble and cook. Just enough flour to make it all come together. Then pour the batter into your cake tin. Make sure it's greased and lined. Into the oven for 25 minutes. And go ahead, lick the bowl. You deserve it, homie. Then, as the brownies are cooling, let's make the cheesecake filling. We're gonna whip up some heavy cream. We're also going to combine cream cheese, sugar, lemon juice, and vanilla extract. Fold in your whipped cream and some white chocolate. Get that on top of your brownies and chill out overnight. Go ahead, eat the cheesecake filling too. For the ganache that goes on top, we're going to use ruby chocolate, evaporated milk, and butter. Pour it all over the top of your brownies and then get that into the fridge for a couple of hours. I mean, was I not gonna lick the bowl? Cut it into squares, show it off, and take a nice big bite. It's cheat day, or in my case, cheat year.
For this week's Foodbeast recipe challenge, I'm making Abuelita's hot chocolate mole wings. First, you season some party wings and cover them in rice flour. Then, toss them into some hot oil. While those cook, we're going to get started on the hot chocolate mole sauce. Boil up some chicken broth and throw in some Donna Maria mole. Carefully add it to your broth, making sure not to splatter and make a mess. It should slide right out of the jar. Jesus Christ. I'm going to use some Abuelita's hot chocolate. Run it by Oscar real quick for a cultural thumbs up. And sweet. Take 2 tablets and toss them into your mole mixture. Let everything melt together and stir. Take a potato and slice it up like they did your library card because of those overdue Judy Blume books. Fry them. Drizzle your mole onto the fries and add some queso fresco and cilantro. Now back to the wings. Toss the wings in your mole sauce. Garnish with sesame seeds. Take a bite for the camera. Make sure to show how excited you are.
Today, I am making fried Champorado balls. First, you're gonna need 1.5 cups of rice. Don't forget to rinse it, and then you're gonna add 4 cups of water. You're gonna let that cook for about 15 minutes. Now for me, I added 3 tablespoons of Ghirardelli's hot cocoa mix and 3 tablespoons of sugar. But depending on how you like your Champorado, you can put as much as you want. Now you're gonna transfer that into a bowl, and you're gonna let it cool completely in the fridge. Next, I used an ice cream scooper to grab some of that Champorado, and I put some chocolate chips in the center only because I want it to be super chocolatey. Then you're gonna roll it in all-purpose flour and ball it up in your hands. Now once you get those all balled up, you're gonna put them in the fridge again for 30 more minutes. Next, you're gonna grab each ball, you're gonna roll it in all-purpose flour again, and you're gonna ball them up in your hands, and then you're gonna dip them in the egg, and then you're gonna roll them in crushed Oreos. I only used the cookie part and gave the cream to my young nephew. Not sure if that was a good idea. Then once you get all of those ready, you're gonna put them in the freezer overnight. And then the next day, I will fry them in medium heat for about 5 minutes. Now, if you are a true Filipino, you're gonna top them with dried salted flakes, which I mix with gold dust because I'm bougie like that. And of course, you gotta drizzle some condensed milk all over it. And I really hope my grandma's proud of me because this thing was just so beautiful and tasted so good.
Alright guys, those were all of our recipes. Let us know down in the comments which one was your favorite.